Yeah, so just kind of been laying. Let me turn this up. Been kind of just been laying back, waiting to see if something would pop in my pea brain, and because nothing occurred on my last really high watch date of the 16th, and then the 17th. Now tomorrow is July 53rd from Back to the Future. Those clocks all set on 7:53, and so I would say that's a big deal. Keep your eye on tomorrow or today, depending on when you're listening to this, on 8/22. But I'm really stoked about this whole Agent 86, Agent 99. By the way, so let's go over our prep. October 15th, again, let's just go over it before we really delve into Agent 86 being 86th on September 7th, which is written in most countries 7-9, and 79 is murder in simple gematria. Simple gematria is used to the extreme because 121 is Antichrist, which is used nonstop. But the date of October 15th, it is day 289. And the Mustang 289 was in Ford versus Ferrari. And the Mustang, the horses representing the horses, and so on and so forth. The 289th prime number is 1879. So that's 187 fused with 79 murder. So that is a big deal. And again, the rising day is 1017, which is 11-7. Drop the zero. The rising Bible verse. I'll tell you something about me and Trump. Y'all know he and I's combined number when you multiply everything out. 6 times 14 times 1946 times 7 times 6 times 1961. Our two birthdays all multiplied out. You have the 322 dead in the middle, and you have the year 1968, which was their big fake staged events, RFK, MLK, and 322 day of the year on leap years is 11/17. Well, Trump and I are also 5501 days apart. And don't you know, Antichrist 726 in English gematria, which is 6 times simple gematria, where A is 6, B is 12, C is 18. And that's when they had their opening ceremonies on 726. It's a huge code for them. It's Antichrist in English gematria. Well, the 726th prime number is 5501, the amount of days apart Trump and I are. Don't forget my first address, probably where I was conceived when I came home from the hospital, was 404 Lime Street, 404 amount of verses in Revelation. When you add that to the 357 in the other end times book, Daniel, it's 761. And that's a fusion of my birthday, 7/6/1961. So it's like, this is what I was built to do, wasn't it? Doesn't mean we're ever going to know the date before it happens. But it's interesting. Crowning day definition. So when he has a crown given to him, I'm trying to figure out if that's the day he gets 86 or the day he rises. Well, crowning, when I looked it up, definition, Webster's thesaurus, climactic, apocalyptic, life and death, which could be death and rising. So does that help us at all? Is it the 86ing day when the apocalypse begins? We've always known And by the way, the 97th verse is when it all begins, the opening of the seal. The second verse is the crowning Bible verse. The 97th verse of Revelation, well, the 9/7, that's September 7th. But let's go ahead and dive into that, this whole September 7th thing. Now, Don Jr. posted yesterday on his Instagram, I've got 99, Agent 99 problems and 86 of them, Agent 86, Agent 99. Remember, they could both just stand for the death and rising, like the Dark Knight Rises. Remember, the Dark Knight Rises was 2 days after the Dark Knight, 4 years apart, but 2 days apart. So the Dark Knight rose on the third day from the darkened right eye, the Dark Knight. The right eye is utterly darkened. So you have Agent 86 and Agent 99. So if 99 is the rising, well, gee, Anne Hathaway was Agent 99, and she was Bruce Wayne's love interest in The Dark Knight Rises. So let's get into all that. First of all, there was a TV series called 77 Sunset Strip. Now, September was once the 7th month, so it's also 77. I don't know if anything big came out of that. When I looked at it, the hours were freaky. 5, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6. For 77 Sunset Strip's release date. Are you kidding me? 577, 776. It's 790 months, so it is murder coded right into the months. TV show 77 Sunset Strip. Spectre, which I always feel is about the death, and then the Dark Knight. I'm sorry. Spectre is about the death, and then No Time to Die is about the rising, as those were the last 2 of the 5 movie series. And it was the 2 movies where he had the love interest. And it is 322 in the days, 3228, Spectre's release date on 11/6/297, or 2 September 7th. Trust me, this gets better. Spectre on the URL for IMDb is 2, right up here at the top. It's 23797. So it's got the date of September 7th backwards and forwards. 2379713. Spectre. The rating at IMDb, 6.8, which we know is Antichrist. Also stands for the reversal of 86. But it is Antichrist, and I believe that's reverse full reduction. The rising day of September 9th, or 7/9, which 7/9 rising day, if murder is 7/9, 9/7 is the 86ing day, 99 the rising day. There's 113 days left in the year, and we know that 11/3 is when One World Trade Tower was established. It's when it opened. 11/3 is opposite 3/11, which 3/11 was when it all began in 2020. And on a calendar is opposite 9/11. We know September 11th was all about rising, because that is September was once the 7th month. So it's really 7/11, but most countries write it 11/7, which is the beast rising from the pit Bible verse. Texas does play Michigan on that day, which are the 2 biggest blue bloods in all of college football history. But the movie 61 movie poster had the 7/9 right on it. It's got 7/9, or reverse that, 9/7. It's 7/9 for September 9th rising day. But when you also look at it, it could be 97, which is the date, or how most countries write September 7th as 9/7. So, but they're giving you 7/9, which could represent rising, but it also represents how most countries write the date of September 7th. Thank you. I had to really think about what I was doing and how I was explaining it. Does that make sense? So it's a double entendre. This is another movie poster for the movie 61. Look at the 7 over here to the left, and then the 61. Let me blow these up for you. Hang on. All right, so let's go ahead and blow these up. Again, this doubles for September 9th, the rising day, as September was once the 7th month, and it also doubles for the 86ing day, as most countries write the date like 7/9 for September 7th. But this is the kicker. The other movie poster has 761, which is the amount of verses of Revelation and Daniel combined, and my birthday, 7/6/1961, LOL. Let's keep going. Strange days indeed. So I think I've established that it's 90, it's death and rising. It's both of them. 61, the movie, came out in 2001 when the twin Trumps came down, the Space Odyssey. Who knew? Who would have thunk it? Movie 61 has a 33 in the days, 279, or a 9/7, and is 121 in the weeks for Antichristos. It's 8,533 days to the 86ing day. This is the release date of the movie 61. In the weeks, 121/9, 1,219 weeks, even. Yikes. Same on the rising day, 1,219 weeks and 2 days. The 97th verse of Revelation is the opening of the seal. We cannot see that take place in heaven. What we can see take place is the crowning or the 86ing of the Antichrist, being that we know who he is. Now, I know a person who 3 times 19 times 1998, their birthday, they've got the 11/3 for rising of the Antichrist. They've got the 86ing of him, the 88 being 86, also the 138 being 86, which is 88 is Trump, or 138 is Donald Trump in simple gematria. So it's him being 86 and his rising. When you multiply this person's number times my number of 82362, because I'm 7 times 6 times 1961, we do have that murder date and the rising date, the 79, depending on how you're viewing it, whether September as the 7th month, which is also how they can code things. Anyway, our combined number does have both in there. That's the beauty of that 79, which is the year I graduated high school, by the way. That's the beauty of that 79, is it represents the death and rising days, depending on how you look at it from which perspective in their cryptic world. And their world's allowed to be cryptic because our Lord's world is extremely cryptic. Of course, the Lord's designed all this anyway. He just runs the evil through Satan. Satan doesn't have a choice. So I'd say one of the top 3 people in my entire life. We are 4497 days apart. And remember, that person and myself were greatly affected on Groundhog Day, 2009. And we are 4497 days apart, which represents Book of Revelation 404. Does it open on this 9/7 date? I don't know. Selena Kyle from the movie script where she's Catwoman, or Selena. I copied and pasted this from the movie script website online. Don't forget, Agent 99, The Rising Day, also is in The Dark Knight Rises. She says, "You think all this can last?" And Wayne glances around at the sumptuous party of all the food and, all the rich people. And she goes, "There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne." So this 9/9 is about the coming storm, theoretically. You and your friends better batten down the hatches, because when it hits, you're all going to wonder how you ever thought you could live so large and leave so little to the rest of us. And Wayne says, Bruce Wayne says, "Sounds like you're looking forward to it." You can find that on YouTube. The video I found wasn't very loud. I looked for my own video on it. Couldn't believe I didn't have one up. At least the word storm is not in it. So I could do one more search for it. Oh, we'll also add that October 2nd, 1988 is 35 years, 11 months, 7 days, 11/7 on the rising day of 9/9. It is 1875 in the weeks and 1 day. So on the 86ing day, it'd be 1874 in the weeks. So you do get that 187. If we run the 86ing day from when the World Trade Center officially opened on 4/4, which is Revelation 404 verses, if we run that to 9/9, the rising day, it's 18786. It's got the 187 and the 86ing taking place on the rising day. Well, you might say, well, maybe that's the 86ing day, and he rises on 9/11, which was all about rising anyway. We've been over that, and that's a very high watch day. But I don't know. It's 617 months, which, remember, is the 113th prime number. Again, rising code. So I think the way the World Trade Center would have all the 86ing codes on the rising day, because that's what the Twin Trumps going down was all about, was actually about the rising. But if you run it to the 86ing day of 9/7, it's 18784. So 2683 in the weeks, 83 murder. So anyway, you still have your 187, of course, in the days. That lasts for 99 or 100 days. So it's definitely still in that range, and time is running out on it. I think that's everything for this prep. So September 7th, might even be moving in the first place, folks. If we look at the moon on this time frame, which is always a big deal, it would go down with the moon in Scorpio or Sagittarius, depending on when it took place, which is the archer, which is the bow. I'm sorry. Yeah, it would go down on the Scorpio moon on September 7th. He would rise still with the moon in Scorpio. So it'd be total Scorpio for event. It goes into Scorpio at 1:19 a.m., which we all know that's Donald code. It is a backwards 9/11, but 119 is Donald, which means world ruler. It's a double entendre. They love it. But the rising, it'd be in the morning, sunrise, right? Spiritually, as Satan possesses the body, because they'd be, copycatting our Lord's rising on the third day. That's why they had the Dark Knight Rises on the third day after the Dark Knight, July 18th to July 20th release dates. So yeah, it would be Scorpio on the 7th and Scorpio Monday morning. Would have him going down on a Saturday, rising on a Monday, which makes no sense on a lot of levels. But for some reason, everything else I've shown you really has me watching this date. All right, love you.